Why is getting dressed in the summer so hard? In theory, it should be easy to pick a top, bottom, and just go about your day. But even items that look perfectly fine on the hanger can end up looking flat when you put them on. The problem is not that your summer wardrobe is boring, it's that you've lost all the other tools you rely on for styling during the rest of the year. So today I'm sharing with you 9 different ways that you can make your outfits more interesting, intentional, and personal without adding any layers. Let's dive right in. Before we talk about the solutions, let's understand what are the most common reasons that your summer outfits feel flat. The first reason is that we've lost the ability to layer. And this might seem very obvious, but even if you don't consider yourself a layering person, I can pretty much guarantee that during the rest of the year, you're wearing blazers, cardigans, jackets, a waistcoat, maybe you're tying a jumper around your waist, or just wearing a shirt open so something is visible. And that layering adds extra color, shape, proportions, and visual interest. But once the temperature reaches about 26-27 degrees Celsius here in the UK, I just lose all of the desire to layer. It feels really uncomfortable. And so you're relying on a top and a bottom to do all the work. The second reason is super common, and that is that we lose the texture that we use throughout the rest of the year. When I think about autumn winter time, we have things like wool, cashmere, mohair, leather, suede, those more chunky knits, and even more festive fabrics like lace, sequins, things with zips and hardware, or those more fluffier feathery fabrics. There is such an abundance of textures, and that brings a lot of dimension to your outfits. But in the summer, we're mostly wearing cotton, linen, maybe viscose. And those fabrics are practical, they're breathable, they work for the weather, but visually and practically, they're very, very flat. And so if you're wearing cotton shorts with a linen shirt, the outfit is automatically going to lose that element of dimension and texture. The next problem is something that we often forget about, but in the summer we often lose shape and definition. When it's very hot, you're less likely to want to wear a belt because it can feel quite hot against your skin. And similarly, you may not necessarily want something that is very close or tight fitting because it can make you really sweaty and hot. And so what happens is that we naturally reach for those flowier, looser pieces. And that can be amazing if you're someone that naturally leans towards this more boho flowy aesthetic. But what happens if you actually like more structured or more fitted silhouettes the rest of the year? That sort of flowiness can feel very unnatural and almost too casual for you. And so we have to figure out how can we bring shape back without losing comfort. And finally, I feel like this is very common. We often lose the motivation to accessorize. Necklaces can start to feel really hot and sweaty against the skin. Your fingers may swell and so rings can become uncomfortable. And anything that's quite heavy as jewelry may start to be uncomfortable and irritating. I know for myself, sometimes I'm just so mentally drained from the heat that the last thing I want to think about is accessories, just adding anything more to the outfit. So we've lost our layers, our texture, our shape, and our accessories. And it's no wonder that you feel less like yourself in your summer outfits. They feel less styled, less intentional, less interesting. Now, the solution here is not to add more layers. And so I want to share with you 9 different tools and solutions that I have found to be really useful to make your summer outfits look better. So the first solution is actually very simple, but we often forget about it. And that is to use pattern to replace visual depth and layering. Because if you think about a pattern or any sort of print, it basically feels like you've layered 2 different things on top of each other. And so that can create that sensation of depth even if it's just one piece. So if you look at these 2 outfits, one has a solid color top and a solid color skirt, and this other one has a printed skirt and a printed top. And you can see how much more depth and visual interest the pattern version of the outfit has. Now, you don't have to mix 2 bold prints to achieve that effect. You can wear one pattern piece with one solid color piece. You can also choose one smaller scale and one larger scale print, because smaller scale print usually almost reads like a solid. Same thing with any lower contrast, more subtle pattern that almost reads like a solid from afar. The pattern doesn't need to be really bright and bold, doesn't need to shout, but it just gives the eye something to look at that creates that illusion of depth. The second tool you can use that we often forget about is to be more intentional with colors. And a problem that I see a lot with summer clothes is that there is not that much variety in terms of colors. I often see stark whites, beiges, maybe some pastels, and a lot of very, very bright Crayola colors. And those can feel really fun. But the problem is that when we pair white with a very bright color, or beige with a very bright color, it can feel almost too harsh of a contrast. If you wear a lot of black, pairing black with those very, very bright shades can feel very bold when that might not be the feeling that you're actually after. And so what I have found really helpful is to think about any of those in-between shades. If you've watched my TB coloring video, I'm talking about the ring 3 shades. Those burgundies, bluish gray colors, more muted greens, and anything that is a little bit of an ish color. You can also go with neutrals that I don't see as much in the summer. So we're talking about chocolate brown, navy, darker gray. All of those colors are way less harsh than black and actually go pretty well with the more bright colors. All of that is going to create a lot of visual interest through color without you having to do anything else. The other thing that you can do with color is actually to use it to play with two bold shades together. And maybe that doesn't feel correct in the autumn winter, but maybe the summer is that time to play with them. For example, you can pair pink with purple, pink with red, red with lighter blue, and all of those combinations can feel very, very fresh, while at the same time not being as harsh as pairing those bright colors with black or white. And even though the textures might be flat in most of those outfits, the color is actually doing a lot of the work. The next tool is something that we often forget in the summer, and that is to use textures. As I said, most of the summer fabrics can feel very, very flat, but it doesn't mean that texture has to completely disappear from your outfits. And I'm not saying to wear leather or suede when it's 30 degrees hot. I'm telling you to look for breathable textures that still have dimensionality or shine. So I'm talking here about things like crochet, lightweight lace. Any crinkled fabric can be, for example, linens or cottons that have this crinkly texture. You can also look for towel-like texture. I really enjoy that. It feels very comfortable to wear that. Open weaves can be really, really fun. Seersucker fabric, pleating, and fabrics that just have a little bit of an uneven surface, so maybe a summer knit that is lightweight, made out of cotton, that can also help with that. And you can absolutely combine those pieces together, but even if you combine one texture piece with one flutter, it's actually going to give you a much more interesting look. And for example, I wear my towel shirt over a simple skirt. And I also recently started to pair my flat silk skirts with a crochet top. And this is something that I've really been enjoying. And when you start using textures, your outfits will automatically start to feel more dimensional and more visually interesting, even though you're still using just a top and a bottom. The next tool is extremely underrated, and that is to use shape and volume. When it gets hot, we often reach for those loose, flowy pieces, but something being loose, it doesn't mean that it has to be completely shapeless. We can look for pieces that have a little bit of structure through inbuilt volume. And something that I've been recently playing with is this pair of balloon kind of barrel-leg trousers. They're really big and they have a little bit of structure. They're made of cotton, but they're still extremely lightweight, so they're very comfortable in the heat. You can also go for wider, more voluminous skirts, architectural waistcoat that has just a little bit of structure. Just make sure the lining is not polyester so it doesn't make you sweaty. Look for tops with maybe a more sculptural neckline, balloon sleeves, a peplum detail, or anything that maybe holds its shape just away from your body. Now, the only thing to mention about shape and volume, if you're someone interested in body typing, is that usually the taller you are and the more kind of structure within the shoulders you have, the more volume that your body can support. And so if you're someone that is very petite or very narrow, I would just be a little bit more conscious about having too much volume that's overwhelming. But with that said, shape and volume are such useful tools to help you make a lot more interesting outfits without, again, changing anything else. By the way, if you're enjoying this video so far, please give me a thumbs up, hype, and subscribe. Now, let's go back to more solutions. The next tool is something that is very similar to some of the outfits that people might wear when they've completely given up on style, and that is to choose intentionally oversized pieces. So, there is a difference between something that is just a little bit too big and something that is intentionally oversized. Now, a t-shirt that is just one size bigger can look a little bit awkward, but if you make it 2 or 3 sizes larger, or the cut itself has been designed to be oversized, that can help you to create a much more deliberate silhouette. And I know for myself, while I love wearing t-shirts and I have a lot of more fitted t-shirts, I don't enjoy wearing them when it gets hot. So recently, I've been experimenting with those more oversized t-shirts paired with more delicate or sheer bottoms. And it's that contrast of something big and long on the top and something maybe a little bit lighter visually on the bottom that makes this outfit feel deliberate. And if you're looking for the perfect oversized fit, don't be afraid to go up 2 or 3 sizes. Now, I could fit in a size medium in this t-shirt, that's my normal size, but I bought the extra large because it gave me this feeling. Same thing, you can go to the men's department and try, because those t-shirts are often longer or a little bit wider, and that can still help you to get that same feel. The next tool is something that one of my subscribers actually taught me, and that is to combine very feminine with very masculine pieces. In essence, what we're doing here is we're creating contrast through style. So basically something that feels much more boyish or masculine, or something that feels very flowy or feminine. So the original outfit that inspired this formula is my halter neck top that feels very feminine, especially on me. And my subscriber paired that with my regular linen kind of boyish shorts. They're very, very casual. And while initially I was very resistant to the idea because it just didn't connect in my mind, once I tried it, I absolutely loved it. And this has actually become a summer styling formula for me. And for you, it doesn't have to be wearing boy shorts. Maybe you like to wear t-shirts, but pair them with a ruffly skirt, or pair them with a pencil skirt or something that just feels more feminine on the bottom. And style contrast doesn't even need to be masculine and feminine. It can be things that are more polished and sporty, romantic and utilitarian, something more delicate with something more oversized, or preppy and relaxed. You can choose the 2 dimensions, but try and pick pieces that sit quite far away in the different categories and put them together, because that style contrast can make you feel a lot more interesting without necessarily doing anything extra. The next solution can feel a little bit like cheating, but it is to create the illusion of layering without actually layering. So chances are you're still going to wear a bra or a bralette or even a swimming costume underneath your clothes in the summer. And while the rest of the year we tend to hide those undergarments because we don't want them to be visible, in the summer you can actually leverage them to help you create a layering effect. So what this means is that maybe your bra is lightly popping and showing underneath your linen shirt. Maybe it is a contrasting swimming costume under your kaftan, and that creates visual interest. Or maybe it's a colored bra that is visible underneath your sheer piece. You're not adding a second garment, you're still wearing exactly the same pieces that you'd normally wear, but you're being intentional about how you pair them. Now, I totally understand that depending on your bust size and comfort level, you may not necessarily be able to use that, but I would still suggest giving it a try because it might unlock a lot of interesting outfits for you. Now, we've talked a lot about using different clothing tools, but let's talk about how you can adapt your accessories. It can be so easy to forget to accessorize or feel like your normal accessories make no sense in the summer because they feel very hot and sweaty, but you might just need to adapt them for the hot weather. So instead of metal or stone jewelry, I usually try to have anything that's a little bit lighter. I'm talking things like beads, wood, resin, even fabric, or maybe something that's really hollow and lightweight. Also in the summer, I prefer to have earrings because they're not necessarily sitting against any sort of skin, they're just hanging. And I also really like those longer dangling necklaces because they're usually going to be touching a fabric rather than your skin directly, and so they might feel a lot more comfortable for you. You can also play with bracelets, anklets, any hair scarves, hair accessories, interesting sunglasses. All of those accessories can add a lot to the look without introducing any other layer. And finally, we can use belts as decoration rather than to provide structure. Now, the typical use of a belt is to just cinch in your waist, and I love my belt, but in the summer, this is not necessarily what I want to do. So if you're someone that likes maybe the more boho or decorative style, choose any sort of looser belts, and you can just put them on top of your trousers and skirts, especially if they don't have belt loops. That can add a lot of visual interest. So I'm talking about any sort of chain belts, soft woven belts can be really good, and you can even use a silk scarf or a tie. All of those can be really good ways to add something extra to the outfit without layering or without using a real belt that is maybe leather, heavy, and doesn't feel summery at all. So no matter whether you're packing for vacation or you're just trying to get dressed for the hot weather where you live, I would really encourage you to pick pieces that have pattern, color, texture, shape, or are stylistically contrasted, and then making use of at least one accessory to add something extra to the look. And that can take your very, very boring basic outfit to something that looks and feels so much better and feels like you. So let me know, what is your favorite summer styling tool, and if you're going to try any of the ones I shared. I'll see you in the next video.